Hi, how are you?
I'm great. And look, we match.
It's
almost like we coordinated it, but we didn't.
right.
Cool. So you just finished 18 weeks or 4 months in the Heluar Group.
I did.
Yeah. So what was that like for you?
It felt really grounding to be with so many women. Well, and I know this LOR was all women, but it won't always be.
Sure.
But for our first time, it was all women, and it felt really grounding, and felt like we were circling with our emotions and what was going on in our internal worlds together.
Mm-hmm.
And that felt really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. What was something that surprised you that you weren't expecting?
Like I said before, I felt like I was the old lady in the group.
But I mean,
well,
you're not.
I felt that way. I still do, but I guess to have so many beautiful young women be able to show me something new. Really, that's what it was.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
It was really sweet to have that difference in perspective and to see that we were going through the same things and also that we were going through different things, and I had something to offer that maybe women 10 years younger didn't have, and that they had something to offer me that I certainly didn't have as 10 years older.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
And so you're a mom and you're married, so you have a relationship, a house, you have 3 kids and job.
Businesses.
A couple businesses.
Yeah.
So what was it like to have a weekly meeting that you had to be at every week?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I know in the past that I had joined groups before where I felt kind of apprehensive at first. I was going through my day and I would say like, oh, that's a bummer, I have to do that. I actually never felt that with this group. And I know it was
Really?
just,
Never?
I don't know if it's, no, I never did. I just felt like excited to share what was going on that day and going on that week, and to be seen and witnessed and what was, and to really hear what was up for everyone else. That felt really nice. And to have that like weekly check-in also felt really grounding.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Glad to hear that. Yeah. Do you feel like it helped you work through any stuff that you might not have been able to work through without having that kind of sounding board or consistency?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of things that came up that I felt like I couldn't just call a friend and say off the bat, things that you women really tracked over time, so I was able to get feedback by giving that every week, and that felt really good and felt different than just calling a girlfriend or talking to my husband. Yeah.
Right.
Felt really supportive.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Nice. So we did 4 different new moon journeys. So we start off with the Cancer new moon, which is a water based, and then Leo, which is fire, Virgo, which is earth, and then ended with Libra, which is an air sign. And are there any experiences from that stand out to you in particular? Or like why, like how did the new moon ceremony like play into the overall quality of the group?
I felt like the new moon ceremonies were really different from our weekly call. It felt like our weekly call was we were able to really touch on about what was going on with us internally every week, and that the ceremony part once a month was about seeding our highest good and our highest desires for that month, and to be seen in those and recognized, and also to harness the power of the moon and the stars at that same time. It felt really powerful to me.
Nice.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, and you were the most ceremonial of all of us. I mean, you would show up in remember the green glittery thing that you had, and like you had your whole like ceremony bowl, right, with the resins and everything. So you were already like really ready to go with that.
I was into it.
Yeah.
And it was so COVID, so it was like we all had to be social distance anyways and do the online, but I would love to do an in-person group.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Totally. Once we're able to again, like for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, is there anything else that you would like people to know, or that you think would be good for folks to know if they're considering being in the group and or maybe on the fence?
Yeah, I would say that there's magic in the parts that you don't know, the parts that you're afraid of, the parts that you doubt, the parts that you're worried about sharing, that there is true magic in those parts and in being seen and witnessed by others who shine the same light that you do.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Yeah, and that reminds me of when we talked about the shadow.
Yeah,
There was one day that sort of impromptu, the topic was the shadow, and what does that even mean, you know? And so we went around and shared what our different definitions of the shadow are. And it was really beautiful because it's so easy to, like, in our minds, compartmentalize things and say, like, oh, this is good and this is bad, but it's never that cut and dry. You know? And like things that we might call the shadow have reasons for being that way, and you know, the more that we can look at and like embrace them, the more integrated and like whole we are.
Absolutely. To be able to see your shadow and feel it and share it and give it and see what it's teaching you and others, and then merge it with the light, then you're the whole.
And then you're not like separate from yourself.
It's
pretty cool.
Or others.
Or others. Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Nikki. Cool. Well, this is, there are other varieties of spinach. This one's a little bit different. It's not technically, it doesn't grow how other spinaches grow anyway. You want to try some spinach?
I do. Oh.
And you can always have a grape.